for the last. More of the same to come. Cloudy and showery is a disappointment for this afternoon, but temperature-wise it's still at least average and probably will go up. The heaviest showers that were around this morning in the home counties are just tucked back around that low, but there's another one off the Norwegian coast which is bumping these weak fronts either side of Scotland and northern England, and all the time drawing down a lot of cloud in a rather weak northwesterly breeze, hence the disappointment. So you've got persistent rain running to the Western Isles, lightest showers over Scotland, the wind just about strong enough to turn over the cloud and break it up in Dumfries maybe. Certainly there's been some sunshine in Yorkshire and Lincolnshire, but I'm having to point out these places. It really is disappointing today. At 10 or 11 degrees, if we get there, it should feel quite mild, but you know that without the sun and with this breeze, it actually doesn't feel that good at all. Most showers are light, but I think there might be one or two sharper ones in Gloucestershire, the Bristol area or Wales this afternoon, and there are more showers across Northern Ireland than was the case yesterday. However, it's hardly a violent February day, and tonight, as this cloud and rain is drawn east across Scotland, that's because the low driving it around which is wrapped is also going away. So we're left with thinning cloud, lowish temperatures, a brief touch of frost in the Highlands of Scotland and Northern Ireland, just going in and out, not a hard February night. But of course, by Monday, one low is going east, and before the next one comes in from the Atlantic, because that's where it's coming from, we are between the two, a ridge of high pressure. That always means quiet weather. If you're lucky, it means sunny weather. I think we might be lucky tomorrow. It'll start cloudy, many places will stay cloudy, but the majority looks like turning briefly sunny at least. At 9 to 11 degrees, it'll feel a fine day. The wind's not that strong. But then things, of course, will change. Midweek, wet and windy, and by the end of the week it'll start to get colder. Not violently colder, it's the wind that'll be the most noticeable thing, along with a certain amount of rain, I suspect. The rain coming in with this big driving low, which is splitting into at least three parts. It obviously comes in during Tuesday, and just ahead of it, in the cold air in Scotland, there could be a spell of snow. Now, we think this will be mountaintop snow, will turn back to rain fairly readily. So it's a wet and windy day for most of us, and very mild, at 11 or 12 degrees. Clearly not very sunny. And then from Tuesday onwards, that low goes east, and as it does so, it takes the mild air with it. The isobars are very close together. The wind is just as strong. Gale, even severe gale force, it's certainly possible. And before the wind tucks in the cold air, we get a spell of rather cloudy weather on Wednesday. Could be wet in southern England, probably rather disappointingly wet in western Scotland too, to add to another couple of inches of rain. Now, on Wednesday, it looks like we've got another load of showers or rain piling through the southern half of the UK, whilst in Scotland and Northern Ireland and Northern England, that cold air is infiltrating. This should allow some sunshine to come in and will dry things up, but it starts to feel colder. 7 or 8 degrees here, still mild and wet, as you can see in Wales and southern counties. And by Thursday, the process of probable coldening, if such a word, continues, but doesn't necessarily make it south of the Midlands because the Atlantic influence is still there. Now, this isn't a certain forecast. This is the most likely scenario. We will draw some cold air in, but the amount of rain that comes through is also not a certainty. Expect a fair amount, particularly in Scotland, maybe a bit of snow that might last a bit longer, but basically it's not extreme in any direction. Back to a subtropical John.